Today we'll be starting off with a game that originally came out in May 1982. A certain fixed shooter that was pretty well received when it first came out. Maybe you heard of it. YARS Revenge. The game was designed by Howard Scott Warshaw, a man that some may know from his work on the Raiders of the Lost Ark and E.T. Video games. YARS Revenge was his first major success and became the best-selling Atari game of all time before Pac-Man. You play as an insect-like creature called a YAR as it does battle against the evil Kotal, who hides like a bitch on the other side of a barrier. In order to destroy the Kotal, you need to charge up the Zorlan cannon station behind the neutral zone. Where have I heard that before? That follows you as you go up and down the screen. Unfortunately, you can be killed by your own cannon. Before we continue, I need to confess that I was not able to get my hands on the original game. Instead, I'll be doing this review based off the remake available on the Atari website. Aiming with the YARS, a giant pain in the ass. His arms only move depending on where you are on the screen when you hit the fire button, making it difficult to line up shots. In order to shoot down destroyer missiles that Kotal sends after you, you have to get in close, otherwise you may as well just be shooting air. The neutral zone can provide protection against destroyer missiles, but it's useless against the charge attack of Kotal, which comes out of him like a homing missile. Your best bet is to fly up and down the screen really fast in the hopes of dodging it. Kotal's attack will always be represented by a green glow around her body, so there's plenty of chance to avoid it. At the beginning, it's fairly easy to destroy Kotal with the cannon. The barricade doesn't even stop it. Only the stages that has the rotating barrier blocks the blast, and you'll need to destroy them yourself to get a clear shot at Kotal. The further up the ladder you climb, the crazier this barrier gets, and the faster the cannon will follow you. You'll need to hit Kotal with more blasts from the Zorlan cannon as well. No matter how good you get, the game will just keep upping the difficulty to continue to challenge you, as was the norm for games back then. Otherwise, you'd get bored fairly quickly. That said, depending on your preferences, the game may still bore you. Despite the makeover, it definitely shows its age. By the 6th level, I found myself becoming bored with the gameplay and not being able to play any farther. I think the fact that YARS Revenge has gone from being on a major console in the 80s to a browser game today speaks for itself. I'm not knocking browser games, but to a lot of gamers it could be seen as a downgrade. Some gamers are less likely to check it out than if it was re-released on a console or handheld system. For something that is free and openly available online, it isn't a bad deal at all. Whether you want to go on a nostalgia binge or you're someone who's never played it before, I'd still recommend it. If you enjoy shooters and a good challenge, get it.